Good morning, everyone, or good evening. I know it depends on where you are in the world. My name is Katie Russo, and I am the Assistant Director of Intercultural Programs at UTD. Welcome to International Student Orientation session about UTD Big Howdy. So before I introduce them, I'm going to go through some logistics. You can see and hear us, but we cannot see or hear you. You will be able to ask questions towards the end of the session. You should see a comment box with question marks in it, and you can type your questions there. And so our team plus our UTD Big Howdy team will be available to answer questions. Closed captioning is also available in several different languages. So if you need some extra language support, just look for the CC button in the bottom right of your screen. But our UTD Big Howdy team is such a valuable team to us here at UTD. So this is a group of volunteers, community, and students who make up the UTD Big Howdy team, and they work so closely with international students. We work very closely with them, and we have such a strong partnership with them because we really try to establish that relationship because we're all here to help you transition to the university and to the US. Even if you're studying at home for the semester, we are still here to help you. And so our UTD Big Howdy team is such an important part of that. They plan parties and we support them in every way we can. They volunteer for our orientations. As you can see, they're going to present. So can you flip to the next slide, please, Flower? And without further ado, I will introduce Darren and Jordan and allow them to talk.
Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Good to be here this morning. Thank you, Katie, for the introduction. Thank you for ICP for hosting this webinar, this event. My name is Darren Clements. I'm with the ICF and I'm the general coordinator for the Big Howdy team. Welcome to UTD. I've got Jordan. I don't know if you can see Jordan Pollock back there. He's with the BSM. He's also co-coordinator for the Big Howdy team, and we just want to welcome you to UT Dallas life and life in Texas, life in Dallas, and life on our campus. And like Katie said, we love to welcome new students and partner with the campus. And so you see what you see today. You're going to see two people representing the Big Howdy team. But just to let you know, there's many, probably upwards to 1,000 different people that volunteer their time and work on the campus here as well. Many organizations that put time and effort and investment into making your life a little bit more comfortable while you're here. We have a video, I believe. The next slide, I believe, is a video. I don't know if Flower can get that to play, but just a little introduction about Big Howdy. Hopefully we can get that to play.
Over 1,800 new international students that come from all over the world. Big Howdy is a group or organization that have prepared this wonderful welcome from the community in partnership with us. We are so happy to have that number of international students that thought about UT Dallas as a destiny to come and study either a bachelor, a master, or a PhD.
We also do a furniture giveaway program. Every fall, we collaborate with local churches, and we collect furniture over the course of the summer, and then we distribute that at this once-a-year event. And then it goes on year-round as well. We also have grocery rides at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. Not only do we utilize the collaborative efforts of the organizations, student organizations on campus, but you need volunteers. And to do that, we reach out to churches in the area that are interested in international students. I would say probably over 1,000 volunteers between our friendship partner programs, airport pickups, home groups, to really reach the vision that we have to help every international student at UT Dallas.
All right, so thank you, Flower. I'm glad that video worked. It gets a little bit of a taste, and obviously the video was shot pre-COVID. As you saw many students on the campus. It doesn't quite look that way today, unfortunately. But we're still here. We're still going to help you transition to life in the United States. And even for those of you who don't come in the spring, that stay in your home countries, we have virtual events, home groups, and many different ways you can get involved and interact with some of our volunteers to get a taste of American culture. I know that's on many of your minds, is why you enrolled in the U.S., is to understand what it's like to live in America. And so, but we've been doing this Big Howdy collective effort since fall 2017. But I also want to say that we've been on the campus working with internationals for many, many years. In fact, our friendship partner program goes back to the late and mid 80s. And so we've been here for a long time. I myself personally have arrived at UT Dallas in fall 2014. A little bit of history background about myself is I lived in China and taught English in a university campus for 4 years, and got a little taste of cross-cultural life and experienced culture shock and many of the things that you also will experience. And so one of the reasons I love to do this is because I empathize with students as they come overseas, learning a new culture, a new language, even different kinds of food. And I love doing working with international students and learning more about your culture. But we work with many different organizations. Like I said, we have several on our Big Howdy team that work together, but we also work with the cultural organizations as well. And so just to help you transition to life here. And in the slide, this is a phrase that we say all the time. We want to provide you a home away from home experience in America. And you'll learn more about some of the services that we offer that allow that to happen. But yes, we're also here to help the ICP program. Anyway, especially right now during this time of the pandemic, any ways that we can help the campus and help you, we're going to do that as well. All right, if you would go to the next slide. This is some of just kind of some bullet points that you see in some of the services that we're going to go through. We're going to go through airport pickup. That's one of the first ways we interact with students at the airport, whether that's 2 different airports, DFW or Dallas Love. We do a furniture giveaway program. You saw that in the video. We do English conversation classes twice a week, and we can offer those virtual as well. Friendship partner programs, one-on-one relationship with an American and you. And home groups is a bigger group of international students from many different countries, partnered with several American families. And then finally, we'll talk about the different individual student organizations. The first one we're going to talk about, I'm going to let Jordan talk about, and that's in the next slide, and that's airport pickups.
Hello, my name is Jordan Pollock. Tell you a little bit about myself and why I do things like airport pickups, which I'm going to talk about. During my undergrad, I got the opportunity to travel overseas multiple times, and it was always the people that I first met when I arrived that welcomed me, that cared for me, that showed me around or helped me get acquainted with the city that I was in, that I'm still friends with today. And so it's one of the things that I absolutely loved and I needed when I arrived in those cities, that I know that you need when you arrive here, is a friendly face and someone who cares about you and cares that you are welcomed wherever you are. And so that's what Airport Pickups is we get volunteers from the community of Richardson, Texas, where UTD is, to go and pick up students from the airport, to be the first face that you see when you arrive. And then not only that, but kind of show you the ropes or take care of you in some ways that are needed in as you transition to living here. And so usually in the semester, this starts a couple of months before the semester even gets started, is signing up to get picked up from the airport through either ISA, the Indian Student Association, FACS, and other student organizations who participate in airport pickups. Or you can go online to our website, the Big Howdy website, and you would fill out the form there. But what happens is you fill out that information, and then myself and a team of volunteers get together and we go through that list and we partner who are some of the volunteers that are available during those times to pick you up. And then we connect you via email or WhatsApp or WeChat so that you can begin communicating with the volunteer even before you arrive. Because it's helpful to know, like, oh, this person is going to pick me up. This is who it is. We even make sure our volunteers send you a picture so you know who to look for and all of those things. And so as we move forward into December and spring, we are still waiting to hear back if this is going to be something that we're going to be able to do for the spring semester. So be looking out for information from the ISSO, maybe some of the student orgs that you're already acquainted with about that information, so that you can know if this is going to be something that's available for you if you're arriving this spring. With that, we will always keep updated with the protocols for COVID and the things that we need to do to make sure that we are safe, that you're safe, and that our volunteers are safe. And so, again, you can look at our Big Howdy website. You can go to that website, and it has all the information we're going to share with you today about the airport pickups, some of the other services that were listed, and also about a unique opportunity that UTD students have to get connected, even if you're living overseas, which we're going to talk about towards the end of this presentation. But if you'll go to the next slide, I'm going to let Darren talk about furniture giveaway.
All right, furniture giveaway. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to help students with furniture. Just a note on the airport pickups. I just remember arriving in China for the first time, and if it had not been for somebody to meet me and greet me in Beijing, China, I think I would have got back on the plane and gone back to the States. So I know it's a very important, kind of a critical time for many of you, and so we love that kind of that first initial contact with you as well. And so furniture giveaway, we've been doing furniture giveaway for years. The Intercultural Programming Department, the one that's putting on this, this group that's putting on this webinar, has graciously provided a storage unit nearby, near the campus, year-round, that we can to collect donations, furniture donations. Every week we have furniture donations, and we store that there. Store the furniture in that storage unit, and we provide furniture for students that have needs. And for those of you who have that are new, which is all of you, if you come, many of you will rent out apartments, and most of those apartments, with just a few exceptions, are unfurnished. So you'll have to buy your own bed or provide other furniture. And so we want to help limit cost for you to expense for buying furniture. And so we provide beds, we provide chairs, sofas, many different things, even small houseware items, cooking utensils are available through our furniture giveaway program. And so, like I said, we have a registration form you'll see at the bottom there at our Big Howdy website. If you go to that link, it is open right now, actually, for those of you who are already, who may be here that are watching. You can fill out, you have 3 different preferences. If you'd like, preference 1 is your first priority. If it's a bed, you select a bed, and then preference 2 and 3 and so on that you need. And we try to provide that as we have it available. And so please go to the Big Howdy website, fill that out, and be patient also as we are trying to, especially right now. I happen to have a truck to help with the furniture, but not everyone drives a truck. And so, and many of our volunteers right now, because of the pandemic, and are not able to help. And so one of the things you'll find on the furniture giveaway registration form is a COVID protocol. I'd ask you to read that because we do want to limit any kind of contact and keeping our social distance and trying for your safety and for the safety of us and our volunteers. Please abide by that protocol, but we will deliver your furniture. And so please go to the website and sign up as you have needs. And I'm just so thankful for all the volunteers that we have that do donate to students. And so please take advantage of that. The next service we have, we're going to talk about, I think, is on the next slide. And that's English conversation classes. This is also after my own heart, because this is what I did in China for 4 years. I taught Chinese students English and as a second language. And so we offer classes twice a week and to give you an opportunity to practice your English. Now, some of you may say, well, my English is good, and that's great. Once you arrive in America, you might find that maybe your pronunciation's a little bit different than the pronunciation here in Texas. And so we want to help you with that. And so to develop a confidence in articulating and pronunciation, and even for helping with improving your vocabulary, idioms, even to help you with the job interview. Some of the things to be looking for. Those are provided by our instructors and our volunteers in these English conversation classes. So whether you think your proficiency level is great or not, I would encourage you to sign up for an English conversation class. And those are available. Right now, they're available online. And these are all virtual only, but every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we have that early in the morning for those of you who want to take advantage of that who are overseas. And that would most likely be in the evening time, your time. And so please take advantage of the Tuesday classes. Thursdays are typically for those that are here already in Dallas at noon Central Standard Time. And then we also have volunteers who would love to work one-on-one with you as well. Most of our classes are in a smaller group setting, and we'll have casual conversations and cultural conversations, but also the one-on-one, we also have accent reduction instructors who can help you with your accent. And so please take advantage of that. You see the registration link, and that's at the organization that I'm an advisor for, and that's ICF, ICFUTD.com. And you can see the conversational English sign up form there. So please take advantage of that. All right. Moving on to the next. All right. Another favorite of mine. They're all favorites, actually. Can you tell? Friendship partner programs. This connects you, if you sign up, this connects you one-on-one with an American friend. And so we have, like I said, we have many volunteers that are here to help you and that want to befriend you, that want to become your family, your American family while you're here. And we've been doing this program at UTD since the mid-'80s, and that's 1980s. That's a long time. And so through the many years and many relationships, and like Katie said, the good relationship we have with the campus, we have the opportunity to reach out to you and befriend you. And I would encourage you to take advantage of this program. And you might think, well, that's, one-on-one, that's kind of intimidating, but that they're there to help you. They're there to not just with whatever it is you have, whatever needs that you have, whether it's helping you out at the grocery store, where to buy your groceries, and so or gathering for holidays. Friendship Partners is the thing you want to sign up for, and you can also help learn your English and perfect your English. And so learning about American culture and especially Texas culture. I would say I'm not originally from Texas. I'm a transplant to Texas, but Texas has its own culture. And many of our friendship partners were born and raised in Texas and in Dallas. And so you can learn a lot about Texas with a friendship partner. And we usually ask our volunteers to meet with you once a month and touch base with you via text or FaceTime, whatever that is, once a week, just to see how you're doing. We know that your schedule, as the semester goes on, it's going to be very busy, your academic schedule. So we don't want to, our volunteers know your schedule is going to be very busy, but they're not going to give up on you. They're going to keep touching base with you and helping you out any way you can. And another good thing about friendship partners I've learned in the past years is it's a good way to network. You're networked with one friendship partner, but that friendship partner is networked to a large group of people. And so it's good to add to that list of people to help you in your academic success and even in your professional career once you're done with school. And so please sign up for that. That's also on our website, icfutd.com/friendship partners. And so there's also a form there for you to fill out. So please do that. All right, moving on to the next slide, please. All right, I'm going to have Jordan share a little bit more about home groups. And once again, it's another one of my favorites.
Right. So home groups is usually a weekly or bi-weekly gathering of students with American volunteers that gather in, well, they would gather in American homes. However, they are right now gathering on Zoom and other social media outlets like that. And so you can meet online as a group. So let's say maybe you aren't comfortable meeting with one-on-one in a friendship partner. This is a great way to do this and to bring along friends. There may be people that you know that are in the same city as you that want to join a group together and get to know people. And so we want to encourage you, as this is a time that you can come and get to know people who are in America that love internationals, that want to serve you and help you along in the transition. Usually they would gather around a meal. Some groups have done things where they've asked everyone to bring a meal and then share what they're eating, or a dessert or a drink or something like that. Because this is a time to learn about cultures, to learn about the differences, to learn about similarities, and to build relationships. These people who are opening up their homes and their lives to you are wanting to get to know you and for you to get to know them well. And so this is a great experience. And so if this is something that you would love to be a part of or to join, you can see there, you can register at icfutd.com/homegroups and register, sorry, and register there. And this is a great opportunity if you don't want to do one-on-one thing, to bring along friends that you already know that might want to be a part of this, to get to know other people, other students who are also online. Maybe there's students that you'll meet that are in the same city as you that you've never met before. And so this is just a great opportunity to start building relationships even before you come to UTD physically, and get to know people and the volunteers that are in this community that make UTD so great. And so we're going to carry on. If you'll go to the next slide, we're going to talk about some of the student organizations who are part of Big Howdy. As we mentioned before, Big Howdy is a group of student organizations and volunteers that pulled this together to make it work. And so some of those are the alpha groups that are done by local churches in the area. And so those are huge helps to us. My group, the Baptist Student Ministry, or BSM, which I'm going to talk about actually in the next slide. So I'll hold off talking too much about us. But then there's the Fellowship of Christian University Students, FCU focus. And so they are excellent and on campus and are still doing things virtually. All these groups are doing things virtually. And so you can find out more information by looking them up, or again, we'll have a different way that you can be a part of building community here in a moment that we're going to talk about. Then you have ICF, International Christian Fellowship, which heads up a lot of the services that we've already discussed. InterVarsity, who has some great online things that you can be a part of, game nights and things like that, and we're going to talk about them here shortly. And also the Reformed University Fellowship International, RUFI. And so all of these organizations work together. We all have an effort and a heart to serve international students, to welcome you and to care for you as you transition here, and even past transitioning. We want to get to know you and be a part of your life, and you to be a part of ours. We have great stories where there are people who have met students at the airport and years ago and have kept up that relationship, have gone to their weddings and have been part of their lives even after they finish UTD. So don't think that, you know, oh, this is just someone who's going to welcome me and then, you know, after a couple of weeks, I won't hear from them again. We really want to build relationships with you and encourage you during your time here and after. If you'll go to the next slide, we'll kind of dig deep into some of the organizations. So if you'll go to the first slide, which is the Baptist Student Ministry. So we are doing things online that you can be a part of with the BSM. Part of that is called Chat and Chai, where usually we would do this on campus and we would have chai made, and this would be a time that students can come by, drink some chai and ask some questions and get to know people. A good little study break midweek kind of thing. And so, but we're doing this online. We do it Wednesday. These are all Central Standard Time. So in Dallas, we do it Wednesday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m., which is usually evening time if you're overseas. And so that's a great time for you to be a part of that. We also do it in the afternoon here from 4 to 5 p.m. for our Dallas students. Just because that's for Dallas students, if you want to wake up super early overseas and be a part of that, you're more than welcome to. And join us and get to know students who are already here. And if you're in Dallas and you want to wake up at 8 a.m. and be a part of that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. This is just a time for students to intermingle, talk, and get to know each other. We also host one of the alpha groups. We actually do, again, we do it twice a week on Wednesdays, 7 to 8 a.m. p.m. We also do one on Thursdays from 8 to 9 a.m. as well. And so if you're interested in hearing about that and knowing that, you can look up BSM UTD and we'll pop up, and you can also find our calendar and all of our information on there and at our website, bsm@utdallas.org. And so if you'll go on to the next slide, we're going to talk about InterVarsity International. This is a great group. We love all of our groups, to be honest. We work together really well and has been a huge opportunity to be able to do this together. So InterVarsity has some things that they do on a weekly basis, like game nights. There's a game night that happens at 7:30. Family groups on Wednesday morning, 7:45 a.m., which I know, again, that's kind of early if you're here. But there's one at 7:30 p.m. on Fridays if you want to be a part of that. And so, again, during this time, we're really trying to be flexible, and we're trying to do things where if you're overseas, you can still be a part of something. And if you're here, you can still be a part of something. And so we break up the times. We make that sacrifice to get up early, not because we have to, but because we want to, and we desire that you feel like you have a community waiting for you here in Richardson. I'm going to let Darren talk about some of our other groups now.
All right. International Christian Fellowship, ICF. You've already heard me talk about that. I'm an advisor for that organization who does the English conversation classes, the home groups, the friendship partner program. One of the things Jordan talked about, the home groups, and we just had a virtual home group a couple of weeks ago celebrating Halloween. We had a get together, and it's so fun, even though we're not meeting face to face, but we had a virtual party, and it was so cool to have people to join us, alumni that had already graduated that are now either working somewhere in the United States, or some of them are even back home in their home countries from China, India. We even had a couple of guys from Nepal that were on this Halloween call. And what I found interesting, there was current students, but there was also alumni students. You can learn a lot from a student that has already been here, that's already graduated. And home groups is just another way to not only learn about cultures from all over the world. We have over 100 different countries represented at UTD, and many of them join our home group. So you get to learn about different cultures and food. But not only that, I mean, you get to experience other students' experience from being here. And to me, that's invaluable, just to learn from alumni. And so please get plugged into a home group. It's pretty cool. And so ICF, we also have weekly discussions if you're interested. We meet every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, just to gather virtually. We usually like to do big events, and usually in the fall, we go down the 4-hour trip south to Houston, to NASA, and where we do a fall space weekend. We leave on Saturday morning early, we get back on Sunday evening. And so, and we have a lot of good connections at University of Houston down there, and the NASA Space Center, Johnson Space Center. And so we have a lot of connections, even with some astronauts. And so we usually have one of the astronauts come and speak to the students. So hopefully things will get back to normal next year in fall 21, and you can join us for our fall space weekend. We usually do a spring retreat. We call it Tejas Spring Retreat, usually the weekend before spring break, and that's usually in March. And so I don't think we'll be doing that this spring. We'll see what happens, but that's a time, it's a couple hours from here to get outdoors. You'll find that Texas, and East Texas especially, has a lot of trees and wildlife and horses and trails. And so it's just a time to get out into nature and also to meet other people as well. So please check us out at icfutd.org or icfutd.com. We're also on Facebook. You see our Facebook friends at ICF UTD. Please join our Facebook group. We've got an Instagram handle there, UT Dallas ICF, and we've also got a YouTube channel. We call it Howdy International Students. In fact, we just shot a video a couple of days ago with our ICF president is Ida Hosa from Nigeria, and our vice president is Sylvia from China, and Cassin's from India. He's our secretary. All three of them were in this video, just to get a different take on where they're from and how they've adapted to life here at UT Dallas. So please check us out at Howdy International Students on our YouTube page. So that's a little bit about ICF. The next slide, please. All right, RUFI. This is Reformed University Fellowship, and this is led by David Billingsley, who's a guy you'll meet once you arrive here. He just, once again, as Jordan said, he's another great partner that we have. And as we serve international students, and he's got a beautiful family, wife and 2 young daughters. And so check out their website and their Facebook and Instagram. You can see them. They meet virtually every Thursday for dinner and discussion. And actually, while we've been doing this this past semester virtually, they usually gather on the campus for food and discussion. But since we cannot do that this past semester, he's been delivering food. So it would be worth your time to sign up for that. I know many of you aren't in Dallas, so that would be hard to deliver food to you wherever you are overseas. But if you're here, at least you'd get a free dinner. And so check out RUFI. They're here to help you and create a friendship with you. That's RUFI. Let's move to the next. All right, I'm going to let Jordan talk about ICampus. I'm excited about ICampus.
So we've been talking about different ways that you can get connected in different ways to go ahead and start building relationships and building community before you even arrive. And this is how, one of the ways that you can do that is through the Big Howdy ICampus. So you can go to our website there, utdbighowdy.com, and pretty much on the first page in the big picture of it all is the UTD Big Howdy ICampus. And so what you do is you can register as a student with your UTD email. And what this does is it lets you go in, you create a profile, you can share a picture of yourself, whatever contact information you want to share. Tell us a little about who you are and different things like that, so that others can get to know you as well. And so basically, this creates an opportunity for you to start getting to build relationships with people. You can visit the chat room and talk with whoever you want. All of the organizations that we've mentioned here today and some other ones have a group on the website that you can go and you can visit that group. You can talk with people within that group. You can hear about the different times that the group meets. You can get some of their Zoom information and things like that. So you can go ahead and log on and register and then be a part of that community. We also put up things that the ISSO puts up, so you can keep up with what's going on campus as well. There's a news feed. You can look at pictures, videos. We also put up helpful links that are on YouTube from the ISSO and other organizations to make sure that you're getting the best information about what do you do when you arrive, what does life in Richardson look like, what are some fun things to do in Dallas, some fun things to do in the US. And so I really encourage you to go ahead, get online, and be a part of our iCampus. This is an awesome opportunity that we've been able to develop for you that has resources, and you can start having community with students from around the world now, so that when you come and you're able to study at UTD, you already have some friends that you can be excited to meet in person for the first time. And so I would highly recommend, you can go ahead and go to the next slide, and it kind of shows kind of a blank outlook of what our website looks like. You can see, you can go to your profile, you can join the groups, and so you can get notifications when a group puts information up. You can hear about immigration news and all of that stuff. And so I just, again, really encourage you, go to that website, UTD Big Howdy, register to be a part of our iCampus and start building friendships and relationships with people now. I'm going to turn this over to Darren, who's going to talk about welcome parties, which is on the next slide.
All right, I'm excited about iCampus. That's a new initiative that we just started, especially since things went virtual. And so what was pretty cool is I've gotten to know, as Jordan said, you get to meet and interact, live chat with a student. One of the students that I interacted with, I remember from Qatar, and others from China and India, from all over the world, and actually chatting with them live on this platform. And so one of them actually already arrived, and so it was good that I already knew this student through our iCampus platform. And now I get to meet them face to face, even before they arrive at the airport. So it's pretty cool. So please take advantage of that. as you saw in the video, and if you see in the slide here, there's that's a typical welcome party. That picture on the slide that was taken from, I think, 2019 fall, where we had over 1,500 people on the campus, and in the area known as the Plinth area outside the Student Union. I have my reservations that anything like that would probably happen in the fall of 21, that many students, but I hope so. It's just a gathering. We have live music, free food, and just ways to interact, games to play. And so hopefully we'll be back on campus in fall 21 for this. But meanwhile, for those of you who are enrolled in the spring, we're going to have a virtual welcome party in January. We haven't decided quite yet the date. It's probably going to be either the 15th and 6th or 16th, Friday or Saturday before school starts the next week of January. And so please go to the UTD Big Howdy website to see the current information. We'll keep that updated as we nail down a date for you. But it's a fun time just to interact and learn more about Texas. We even did a Texas party where we learned how to line dance earlier this semester, and so it's just fun. And there's always fun activities. There's always prize giveaways. We gave away some cowboy hats earlier this semester, and so it's just one way we just demonstrate just our care for you and want to get to know you and to welcome you to this campus. So please go to our Big Howdy website, and you can go ahead and actually the party registration form is live. You can go ahead and register for the party, and we'll get you more information with the specific dates. Well, thanks for joining us, and thank you for the opportunity, ICP, for giving us to do this webinar. And I think we're going to take some questions. If you have questions, they're just between the two of us. We try to talk about everything, but I'm sure we've missed out a lot of different things. And so Tamara and Katie, they know what we offer, and we might have missed some things. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those now.
Thank you so much, Darren and Jordan. So we've opened our question box. So if you want to go ahead and leave a comment or a question, Darren and Jordan, I added some of your web pages to that. So if there's anything I'm missing, or if you want to add an email address, that's a really good way for us to share that with students. But please type any questions you have. We rely on this team so much for support and supporting international students, and they are so wonderful in what they do. And I'm looking forward to the Big Howdy welcome party. So they always have a good time. But we will wait a little while for questions. It sounds like you guys have a lot of good opportunities for our students who might be taking classes virtually to still participate.
Yes, we got a lot of practice this past semester with doing things virtually. So yeah, it's been interesting but fun. It's different but fun. Yeah. Yes,
it's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad our students have still been able to participate. I know that the semester is coming up and people are excited. So hopefully we will get to see students either virtually or in person this semester. I'm looking forward to both. No questions? Well, I guess Darren or Jordan, I have a question for you guys. So if a student wants to participate in multiple of your services, like the furniture giveaway, the Big Howdy party, the chai and chat and everything, is there a limit to how many events or items they can participate in?
no limit. The sky's the limit. So you can take part in every event or activity or virtual event. Yeah, we encourage that actually. The reality is, you know, a lot of students will sign up for many things, but they'll typically, as the semester progresses, they'll gravitate towards something that they really find interesting. But the only way you're going to find out really who you connect with is to try them all. We have over 20 different home groups. And my students sometimes ask me, well, I signed up for this home group. Am I limited to that? And I encourage them to try all the home groups out because they're going to connect better with some groups. And so that would be my encouragement, to sign up any opportunity you have to sign up, fill out the form. Now, as the semester goes on, you'll find that you'll get pretty busy with your academics. I will say this, though. I have to encourage students, because they get so bogged down in academics, and that is your priority, to make all A's, right? And to get a good job. But I would say to be intentional about signing up for these programs. One thing I have is a lot of alumni that I've talked to, when they get out and they have a job, some of them regret not taking the time to meet other Americans or other ones of our student organizations, and even building their network. They regret that, and so I hate that. You have the opportunity now, when you're not as busy, to sign up for as much as you can and get involved any way you can, and you'll find the right people to connect with. And so sometimes that's hard to do, especially as a semester goes on. But once again, I would discipline yourself and be intentional about going to that home group or meeting with that friendship partner, and or having, doing the chai and chat time, and whatever you connect with, be intentional about that, because you won't regret that. I've never had a student say they regretted taking the time out to socialize with other people. And so please do.
Thank you, Darren. So we do have one question. Thank you so much for your information. At the beginning, you referred to furniture needs, and could you inform us also for apartments or houses or any other, I guess, living accommodation? So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't know if, Darren, you have any recommendations, but there is, on our university housing website, they do have a section for living off campus. So I'll go ahead and post that in the chat, and that will link you to another website that goes to search for off-campus housing. And so that's a really good resource. But Darren and Jordan, I don't know if you guys have resources for finding apartments or housing either.
Well, for permanent housing, I would encourage you to reach out to students that are already here. There's been a couple students that actually came this past fall, and they didn't get connected to people that were already here, and kind of got burnt because they didn't do their homework ahead of time. So I would encourage you to reach out to the Indian Student Association, or to FACS, the Chinese Association, or whatever student organization that's on campus, and get their advice first, because there's others that are always looking for roommates. And so there's also a Facebook page, UTD International Students Facebook page. That's a good group to chat in if you have a need. One of the things that we didn't talk about, ICF also provides temporary housing. Some of you, you may find permanent housing, but you don't have, you might arrive a couple of days earlier before your lease starts. And so go to ICF UTD, and you can check out the temporary housing page as well to provide that. And also the other organizations provide temporary housing as well.
Absolutely. And thank you for mentioning that, Darren. So I also sent you guys the Intercultural Programs Housing website. And so this just has some tips about finding temporary housing, and it lists some organizations that have helped students in the past, like ICF and BSM, and some of the cultural organizations, FACS and ISA. A lot of these student organizations, you can stay with somebody in their apartment for a couple nights until you find your spot. We also, on this website, have have just some general information about finding housing. What are some other resources on campus? There's a great student organization, or it's a program at UTD called Road Warriors, and that's all about living off campus. It's only for students who are commuting to campus. And so they have some good booklets about what should you look for in an apartment and what do you need to remember to take care of when you're living off campus on your own. You know, something as simple as, you know, making sure that you're locking up your doors and things like that. So use these resources that we have to try to find your apartment. Yes, I know searching for housing can be a little intimidating if you're outside of the country. And so we try to provide as much resources to you guys as possible. Any other questions that we have? Oh yes, and Leticia also posted the on-campus housing availability. So there is availability in on-campus housing. So we have apartments and we have traditional dormitory style rooms on campus. So you can take a look at that to see housing availability if you're interested in living on campus. And there's so many benefits to living on campus, right? So that might be a good option for you.
Yeah, you'll find in many of them students that come here that Dallas public transportation is not too great. And so the good thing is you have the Comet Cruiser bus that goes around the campus. And so the closer you can get to the campus, unless you intend to buy a car, the better for you. Yeah. And so it's very convenient. The Comet Cruiser is very convenient.
Yes, that's a very good point. And actually, if you guys come to our orientation session next week, next Tuesday morning, we're going to share some information about preparing to live in Dallas. So searching for housing, setting up utilities, cell phones, things like that. So that might be a good one if you're still kind of getting ready to live here, and what do you kind of what are your next steps? That might be a good one to come. So we also talk a little bit about the Comet Cruiser, what's along the Comet Cruiser route. But yes, I would say compared to a lot of other countries, our public transportation isn't as vast or expansive. So Darren is right. Living closer to campus, if you're choosing to live off campus, is going to be a lot easier for you. So far, we don't have any more questions. You guys are a quiet group today. It's because Darren and Jordan shared so much info and it was so clear you don't have questions about it, right?
Yeah, we must have done a good job.
That's what I always think. We did a good job when there are no questions. Well, if you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to email us. So I'll go ahead and leave our email address in the comments box, so we can connect with Darren and Jordan, or we can also answer questions or find you the right person to talk to if you have a question about something that we don't have the answer to. So you're always welcome to email us. Like I said, I hope you can come to our orientation session next week, but it looks like since we have no more questions, that we can go ahead and finish up. Darren, Jordan, thank you so much for everything. We appreciate your participation.
Well, thank you. It's been a joy to be here this morning. Gabe, thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, it's good to be here. Ms. Jordan.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Oh, we got one more question, but it is not for you guys. So someone's asking when to apply for housing. If you're applying for on-campus housing, apply as soon as possible today. So Leticia put the housing availability website, and you can go to I've also posted the general housing webpage. You can go to that and you can access the application form. There is a small fee to submit an application form, but I recommend applying as soon as possible, because that is how you can get a better chance of making sure you secure a spot on campus. Okay, thank you so much. I think we'll finish up, and we hope you guys have a good day.